Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would love to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. A double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Blessings and safety to the elect. All right, I'm your fellow servant, my Aquadar, from the Great Millstone Camp here in Cleveland. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, man. All right, and I'm gonna title this lesson, "A Mighty Nation Brought Low." All right, and I was just meditating on, brothers, man. And the apostles and the elders and how mighty they are, man. And to look at the conditions that we are in, due to our iniquities and transgressions, of course. Okay, but to be on a line with these great men, okay, and after we done preaching, okay, this mighty man got to go punch the clock at Burger King, man, or this mighty man got to go punch the clock at McDonald's, or wherever a brother's job is, man. The job, we got to work, man, because if we don't work, we don't eat. All right, but the point is, we're mighty men, okay, and we have also been blessed with the highest form of wisdom in the world, man. Okay, but the conditions that we are in, man. You got to hear about brothers having rodent problems. Okay, brothers catching hell with a woman. Okay, some brothers can't get a woman. Okay, or refuse to deal with women because of their wicked ways. To each his own. Whatever, man. The point is, it's been made, man. Okay, mighty men brought low, man. Okay, and I want to open up with this precept. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 7:6, man. And I want to say this, man. The Lord is a racist, man. The Lord believes in separation. Okay, and a racist, ultimately believes that they're a race or nation of people, to be for their people, but also they believe that their nation or race of people is superior to the next. Okay? So this is Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth," man. All right? So whatever nation, okay, because we're going to get the nation that is talking about, the Lord have chosen that nation of people to be special people unto himself above all the rest of the people that's on the planet Earth, man. Now, we know that the Lord created 18 nations, okay? So we're going to get the nation that the Lord cherished, man. All right? It's Amos 3:1, and it says, "Hear the word that the Lord have spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth." All right? So the Lord saying, look, man, you are the only nation I'm acquainted with, man. Hey, the Lord, he doesn't deal with the rest of the nations, man. The rest of the nations were created for prophecy's sake, ultimately to be servants, but also too, man, all the nations have had us in captivity. Okay? We have been brought low many of times due to our transgressions and iniquities, right? But it says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore will I punish you for your iniquities. And this is why, the Lord discontinued from our heritage once again. All right? Now, when you go back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, all right, I'm going to just read 1 and then verse 15. And verse 1, Deuteronomy 28:1, it said, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments." Okay, and this is Moses speaking unto us, man, the children of Israel, right? And it says, "To observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy power shall set thee on high above all the nations of the earth," man. So, hey, man, if we kept the laws and we walked in righteousness, okay, we did things pleasing unto our power, that the Lord will set us above all the nations of the earth, right? And let's go down to 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Okay, and it's very important to walk in the ways of the power, man. Okay, when you go into Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, matter of fact, I'm gonna grab that real quick and come back. Real quick, Shalakia. The 4th chapter, I'm gonna get straight to the point, the 6th verse. All right, because it mentioned, walking, in the ways of your power, keeping his laws and statutes and commandments, right? Deuteronomy 4:6, it says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. Okay? So we're supposed to keep these laws and pretty much walk in the ways of the Lord, man. Because this is wisdom, right? And it said, this is your wisdom in the sight of the nations, which the nations doesn't have a power. Okay? And it says, well, shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people, man. Okay? Now, when you think about this, man, Jake is the former of all things. All right. First and foremost, we know that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yahweh through Yahweh Shah and Elohim created all things, but Jake set the trend in this society, man. Okay. Here it is, and we just talking about wickedness, man. We gonna talk about, black culture, man. Rap and all that madness, man, right? Here it is, you got these heathens, following after Jake, man. Following after Jake. Why you think when Jake throws shows, man, you got damn heathens in the crowd going crazy? Now, just imagine if you transform that into righteousness and walking in the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, okay? They will follow. Look, man, come on, man. But hey, man, of course, that time is coming, man. Okay, that time is coming, okay? And the scriptures talk about how they wait for the manifestations of the sons of God, roughly paraphrasing. All right, if I ain't butcher it, Shalaki, if I did. That was the point in that. Go back to the 28th chapter. All right, the 15th verse, and it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, which means listen unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right, and this is a prime example, okay? Now, when you read throughout this chapter, I'm going to just go to 19. I'm going to just skip around. It says, curse shall thou be when thou comest in, and curse shall thou be when thou goest out, man. All right. So, these curses are upon us, man. And I'm going to just read a few more to edify the point I'm making. All right. I think it's 40. Oh, here go one. Verse 41, it says, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but shall not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity, man. All right, verse 43, it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low, and he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. All right, and that's the point, man. You got some brothers, man, who children are in the system. Okay? Hey, the scripture just said, the stranger that is within thee, all right? And in this case, man, Esau Edom, all right? Shall you should not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And this is why, these devils are over us, man. Okay, this is why we came down low, because we didn't keep the ways of our power, man. All right, you go to the book of Judges, man. All right, it's a prime example of the Lord delivering us out of many captivities, and Israel going right back to what the Lord say not do. Okay? Prime example, man. All right, but that was pretty much the point, man. Okay, this is why we're brought down low, man. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. It says, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as service upon the earth, man. Okay, I have seen servants upon horses. Remember, man, the scripture saying in Genesis that the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, so Esau's the servant. But why is he on that horse right now? Which horse represents power? And then you got the princess, Yasha'Allah, he prince power. Okay, Israel, the men, okay, of the nation. That's who the Lord deals with. The sons, okay. We're walking upon the earth as servants, man. All right, and that goes back to what I was saying, man. Brothers be so mighty, man. Brothers be so mighty, man. Okay? You get with brothers, man. You at camp, you at studies. Okay? You kicking shit with the Akim, man. But then they got to go fucking work at some job that's paying fucking crumbs, man. And I'm going to say this, brothers, we got to do what we got to do. But the point is, a mighty nation brought low, man. Mighty men brought low. Okay? But guess what, man? Hey, man, the Lord is on his way back for us, Akim. And we about to be uplifted. Okay? But hey, man, Yahweh Shah has to get his glory first, man. And that's what a lot of people don't get and understand, man. A lot of people want to be, they want this power, they want this recognition, okay? They want, everything that this world has to offer, okay? But it has an ending point. We want what's forever, and that's the kingdom. It's coming. Okay, you're not going to obtain the kingdom here, man. If you're trying to do so, you're laboring in vain, okay? I'm trying to break the generational curses. I'm trying to get generational wealth. It's all in vain, man. Okay? But hey, man, I'm going to read this back. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking upon the earth as servants, man. A mighty nation brought low, man. Okay, but guess what? It wasn't meant to be forever. All right? It wasn't meant to be forever. And, the Lord didn't put us in this condition, for E to pretty much, do away with us. Okay? We're going to be straight, man. I want to say Baruch 4 and, let me see. Might be 3 and 8. Shalak, you bear with me. I want to say chapter 3. 3 and... Oh, this is a good one, but this ain't the one I'm looking for. But this is Baruch 3 and 8. Baruch 3 and 8, it says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Okay, because you got people talking about we ain't in slavery no more because they feel some equality with Esau. No, man, we're still in captivity. All right, and it says, it says, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, and according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. Okay, and that's the point, man. Because of our iniquities of our fathers, which we are our forefathers for those who can receive it. All right. So hey, man, we're under curses to this day, man. Okay, but the precept that I was actually looking for, just bear with me. All right, I found it. The Wadi Habashimi Al-Shad is Baruch chapter 4, verse 6. It says, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction. Okay? So, hey, man, Esau has, been trying to consume us this whole time, but we wasn't given unto his hands, okay, for him to destroy us, man. It says, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. All right. So, hey, man, this is why ultimately, we were, cast down. All right. And hey, man, you know, hey, a mighty nation brought low, because we moved our power to anger, man. Okay. Um, I got another scripture real quick. Probably end it right here. Lamentations 4 and 22. It says, "The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He would no more carry thee away into captivity." Okay. So, hey, man, our iniquity, our punishment that the Lord, our bondage, our slavery is coming to an end. Okay. And this is going to be the last captivity. Because, hey, man, and we're going to enter in that second covenant, which the Lord is going to download us with righteousness. We're going to keep the laws to a T. All right. We're not going to sin again. All right. You got niggas teaching oh, man, a bunch of madness. But the point is, we'll never have to see captivity again. The Lord said what, man? He will visit thy iniquity, or daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So now it's time for these Edomites, all right, to go into to captivity. Okay, and serve their 1,000 years of slavery, man. Okay. All right, I got one more. Isaiah 14 and 3, it says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from thy hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve," man. All right. So those days are right here, right around the corner, man. Okay. Well, we're going to rest, from the sorrows, man, and, this hard bondage, man. This was a a heavy captivity, man. All right. So, hey, man, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.